Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It is me, Mrs. G, Coach Mrs. G. We are going to be talking about my 5-step framework today. We're going to be talking about how to break your unhealthy dating patterns, how to identify our dating patterns, and then begin doing the work to break our dating patterns. If you are dating the same man over and over, you're going from relationship to relationship, getting the same results, you're not getting what you want out of these men, you're not getting what you want out of relationships, then my friend, you are stuck in a pattern. Good news is, if you can observe a clear dating pattern, that means you can break the pattern. That means you're in control. If you're actually done and you're ready for something different, you want different results, and you know that in order for that to happen, it really starts in here, and you're ready to do that work, put ready in the chat. I need to know who I'm talking to. Put ready in the chat if that's making sense to you. The hardest thing in life is to hold up the mirror and say, okay, let me figure out what I'm doing. Let me figure out how I'm participating in my own reality. But I promise you, if you take that step and you say, okay, let me see what it is I can do differently. It's a simple question. What can I do differently? It's not even no groundbreaking thing, but it'll unlock so much in your life if you're able to just take a step back and say, what can I do differently? Or what am I missing? Just get curious. Just ask yourself, am I missing something? You might not think you are, but just ask yourself that question. And that in itself will unlock so much. So the first thing I want y'all to do is take a look. Just look over this list real quick. I'm going to move out the way. I want y'all to drop in the chat by number which dating pattern or patterns resonates with you the most. Number 1 is chasing emotional unavailability. Number 2 is ignoring early red flags. Number 3, overgiving to earn security. Number 4, rushing emotional intimacy. Number 5, choosing potential over behavior. D said ignoring early red flags, choosing potential over behaviors. That man is showing you a consistent pattern and you're ignoring it. Stop trying to figure out why he's acting the way he's acting. The question is, why am I ignoring it? What's going on? How come when a man shows me who he is, how come when anybody shows me who they are, I try to make sense of it. I try to close the gap. I try to, okay, let me, maybe I need to change something about myself. I clearly see this person is running away from me. Let me chase him. What is that? Why is my body reacting that way? Why is my brain behaving that way? What if he says planning dates makes him overly anxious, so he prefers spontaneous plans? What is he, like 18 years old? Like, I'm confused. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm confused. He said planning dates makes him anxious. He prefers spontaneous. Listen, he's 45. That excuse is not going to cut it for me, friend. It's not going to cut it for me. He's 45 years old talking about he gets anxious planning dates and he would rather just be spontaneous. No, he needs to respect your time and show some effort. Like, it's not that hard. Long distance is a completely different ballgame. When you're dating long distance, first of all, you need to know what your requirements are and what your expectations are going into it. A long distance relationship should actually progress quicker than your average relationship. There's no room for inconsistent communication in a long distance dynamic. There's no room for, we'll see where this goes. See where this goes. Baby, it done already went real far. You guys are miles apart. I don't know how far apart you are, but you're going to have to really be on the same page. Why are we dating? What's the intention here? And what's the plan? What is the short-term plan? This whole, there are no good men, that's not true. And that ain't got nothing to do with me. All men cheat, that's not true. And that ain't got nothing to do with me. I need you to reprogram your mind. If you keep ending up with the same type of man, there is a pattern here. All roads lead back to self. If you believe that the type of love or relationship you want doesn't exist, my friend, you're not going to get it. But oftentimes we make it harder than it has to be because we're not dating with strategy. We're not dating with logic. We're not dating with intention. We're not dating with discernment. We're just out here going off of vibes. In the beginning stages of dating, a man should absolutely pursue. Here's the thing about when you first meet a man, okay? When you first meet a man, as a woman, if you want a real relationship, okay, you want commitment, right? That means you are showing up willing to give the thing that you're already trying to get from the man, right? Because men don't walk around fantasizing about relationships all day, okay? When we talk about falling in love, now you can tell me if I'm wrong, Robin, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Men don't typically sit around fantasizing about relationship. That doesn't mean that they don't want a relationship. However, they don't romanticize relationship and commitment the way women do. So, we could blame the patriarchy, but women grow up like just being ready for a relationship. We be plotting on love. Men actually fall in love, okay? They wake up one day, they realize they have strong feelings for you, and they don't know how the hell that happened. They just wake up and now they got responsibilities and shit. Women actually plot on love. They plot on relationships, okay? By the time you ended up in that relationship, you was looking for that relationship. When you don't allow a man to pursue you, when you don't allow a man to lead and put that effort in the beginning stages, okay? Men absolutely want reciprocity. But if we're talking about you just met a woman, you just met a man, okay, the beginning stages, it's important to let a man lead, because typically the woman is showing up already willing to give the thing that she wants to secure from the man, right? So it's important to let him lead, because he's going to show you I don't care if we don't like it or not, men really control relationships. Women control. And what does that mean? I'm not just talking about doing the deed. I'm talking about everything that comes with your feminine energy, the emotional tone of the relationship, what's required. The woman determines all those things. He's either ready to give you what you want or he's not ready. The only way you're going to know that is by having certain boundaries and requirements and letting him do the footwork in the beginning. That's the only way you're going to know. You have to let enough time pass by so you can observe patterns and know his true intentions, because a man that just wants to be up under you and soak up your feminine energy versus a man that really wants to build with you, it's really all going to look very similar in the beginning. You understand? It's really hard to tell the difference in the beginning. That's why y'all end up, well, if he don't like me, why he want to be up under me all the time? Why he come back when I cut him off? Because he likes your feminine energy. That's all. Once you establish that you are in a relationship, now both parties need to be, it's 50-50. Ain't no, you need to be with a man that likes you more. And, in order to get a man to do this or treat you this way, you got to be a little bit mean. No, none of that is true. That is a myth. Once you establish that you are in a relationship, committed relationship, it is 50-50. You come together, you make each other whole. That's it. Nobody should be in a relationship dynamic, man or woman, where they feel like, I love this person more than they love. Nobody deserves that. I have a son and a daughter. I don't want that for neither one of them. I don't want my son growing up and marrying a woman where he feels like, I love her more than she loves me. No, everybody deserves to feel 100% reciprocity in a relationship. 100% effort, 100% mutual love and respect. There shouldn't be this uneven dynamic, right? But if we're talking about the beginning stages, yes, it's important to let the man do the footwork and do the heavy lifting in the beginning until you as a woman can determine that you're safe and secure in this relationship. Once you determine that you're safe and secure, he's being consistent with communication. He's being consistent with effort. You know what I mean? He's not acting funny when you bring up serious conversations. You're able to ask him questions. He's able to answer honestly and directly. He's able to tell you what he wants in the near future. You know what I mean? Things are going pretty well, pretty smooth. Now it's time for you to show that reciprocity. Don't start playing games because he'll get turned off. See, y'all gotta know, it's all in the nuances. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to finesse. You gotta know how to finesse that feminine energy. There's a difference between pretending to be hard to get and being hard to get. Baby, that's not an act, right? Pretending to be hard to get is, oh, he texted me, I'm not gonna text back right away because I want to pretend like I'm busy. Baby, he's gonna pick up on that, okay? Being hard to get and actually having real boundaries is, you try to FaceTime me at 11 p.m. I've only known you for 3 weeks. I'm not picking up the FaceTime. I will talk to you in the morning. That's being hard to get. That's a boundary that speaks very clearly for itself. Oh, okay, I don't get that type of access to her because I don't know her like that. I haven't proven myself. Enough time has not passed to where she's comfortable with me. I respect it, right? That's a boundary. A boundary isn't like, oh, let me pretend I'm busy when I'm not busy. Or, okay, he wants to make plans for Thursday, but I'm going to just say no just to see what he does. Baby, don't play them kind of games. You're going to end up by yourself. I'm available, but I'm going to just say no just to see what he does. No, why would you do that? Why would you do that? See, some of us be playing games when we do get a consistent man. Don't start playing games, friend. He's showing effort. I'm showing reciprocity. However, I have certain boundaries about myself. You don't listen, don't play them kind of games. If he planned it, like, do you want him to plan the date or not? A boundary is like, okay, you don't get certain types of access to me because I just don't know you. I'm not going to get emotionally invested because I do not know you yet. A boundary is you don't get to plan nighttime activities. You don't get to come over my house because I don't know you well enough. You don't even have to verbally explain your boundaries to that man. Take the guesswork out of dating. Y'all be thinking these men don't know what they're doing. He's only texting you at night on purpose. Please understand, it's on purpose. He's not planning dates on purpose. He ain't going through nothing. I had somebody the other day on the live tell me that her homegirl, it was Friday, right? He planned a date for Friday, for that day. And she said the date was supposed to be at 8 p.m. And she had not heard from him the last 2 days. It was like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. She had not heard from him on Friday, and she had not heard from him the previous day on Thursday. And she was like, should she reach out to him? See, that's the type of stuff we women do. Oh, maybe I should reach out. Everybody's busy. Everybody has a lot going on. Every time you try to give a man the benefit of the doubt because you're trying to fill in the gaps, because you're starting to panic a little bit when he shows you his inconsistency, you start to panic. Instead of responding accordingly, you start to panic. Oh, should I hit him up? Why would you hit him up? Why? You think because he planned a date, that's effort? Maybe the date don't count until you are sitting across from him on the actual date. Him saying, I want to take you out on Friday means nothing until you're actually sitting on that date across from him face to face. I said, no, you're absolutely not going to reach out. And then she said, or, your friend shouldn't reach out. And then she said, okay, so what if somebody in the chat said, okay, well, what if he hits her up like an hour before the date? At that point in time, your best bet is to either tell him that he's more than welcome to reschedule, right? Or wash your hands of the situation. These men are not that busy. Please don't fall for it. If somebody makes plans to take you on a date 5 days from now, they should be following up with communication. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. They should be reassuring you. And a man knows when he's not doing this. Y'all think men be just like oblivious, like, oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to be texting you. I didn't realize I was supposed to be giving you attention. I didn't realize Dating could be so simple if y'all just understood that men know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know what they're not doing. Okay. Robin said, this is a man telling y'all what it is. Robin said the greatest trick ever was convincing everyone we don't know. So now that we have identified our dating patterns, go ahead and take a screenshot again if y'all need to. Let's clap for the class. We have identified our patterns. Now what you're going to do is use Mrs. G's 5-step framework on how to begin breaking these patterns. 5 dating patterns, 5 steps. Number 1, you're going to recognize. You cannot fix what you don't recognize. You can't fix what you don't identify, right? So now you're going to identify your pattern. We just went over that. You're going to become aware of dating behaviors that keep repeating, okay? Then you're going to reflect. This is where you connect the dots. You're going to examine your childhood trauma, past experiences, underlying beliefs, limiting beliefs, and how they affect your decision making. And what made you start tolerating disrespect? When was the first time somebody really disrespected you and you didn't speak up for yourself? When was the first time you found yourself in an abusive relationship and you stayed longer than you should have? When was the first time you was teased on the playground and you didn't fight back? When was the first time you experienced something uncomfortable in the workplace and you didn't go to HR? I think everything is connected. Every time you tolerate disrespect, every time you silence yourself, every time you shrink yourself in a friend group, every time you accept a backhanded compliment from a hater, every time you let that man talk to you out the side of his neck, you are training your brain. You are chipping away at your self-worth. You are normalizing dysfunction. Now, you can undo this. You can do the work to reprogram your brain. That's what we're doing right now. However, it takes clarity and intention. And if you keep going from situation to situation, from relationship to relationship, and you're not extracting the lessons that you need to learn, and you're just blaming everybody else, my friend, you're going to keep getting the same results. I'm speaking from experience. My entire 20s, all I did was date men that disrespected me and devalued me, men that weren't emotionally available, right? Because I had yet to connect the dots. I'm dating these types of men because my father set the tone for me as a child. My own father taught me that I have to chase validation from men, that I have to earn love, that I'm not really good enough. Something's wrong with me, right? So if somebody's treating me a certain way, it's got to be something with me. I need y'all to understand that you don't arrive as an adult, right, with your own consciousness. You arrive at adulthood with whatever programming you received as a child. You're operating off of that program. You're doing this without knowing it, right? So then you become an adolescent. Now you're making friends. 33 years for you, period. And it's a lifelong journey, right? So now you're an adolescent. You're making friendships. The way you make friends, the things you tolerate in your friendships, that is also based on your program. Whatever programming you received as a child. Now you start dating. Now you're a teenager, late teens, early adult. Okay. And if you're like me, I was a late bloomer. I didn't date in my teens because I wasn't allowed to date. I wasn't allowed to talk about boys. I wasn't allowed to bring boys home. I grew up in a super strict Catholic West African household. The world of men and love and dating and relationships, it's a mystery to me. Not only is it a mystery because I'm inexperienced and no one ever talked to me about dating. No one ever talked to me about boys. No one ever talked to me about hormones. No one ever talked to me about nothing. And on top of that, I have daddy issues. So I want y'all to tell me what type of man you think I spend most of my 20s dating. Now I'm on the other side of it. I've been with my husband for almost 9 years. But nothing in my love life, nothing in my dating life changed until I took a step back from dating and decided to get real curious about myself. Because all roads lead back to self. Does not mean you are blaming yourself for other people's actions. You're never blaming yourself for what somebody did to you. But you need to get curious about, okay, what did I miss? How can I be better prepared next time? What can I do differently next time? How can I use more discernment? Why am I attracted to the types of men that I'm attracted to? What is it that makes me feel like I'm panicking every time somebody starts to pull back from me? Why do I try to chase men that are running away from? What is that within myself? Forget about what they're doing and why they're doing it. Why are you responding to it the way you're responding to it? Then we're going to do the reset. The reset is the fun part because this is where you get to choose essentially a new identity for yourself. You think just because you tolerated something for 10 years, that means you have to keep tolerating it until the day you leave this earth? No. We're going to set new boundaries, new expectations, create your new identity. Align yourself with the woman you want to be. And I should have added, align yourself with the type of man that you want. Then you're going to rebuild, okay? You're going to center yourself. Rebuild your life by creating new hobbies. Because see, when you stop running after men that don't want you, when you stop wasting your... Listen, I'm trying, Katie. I'm trying with love, okay? When you stop wasting time on situationships, what you're going to find is a whole lot of new energy. Like, dang, I was really putting a lot of energy into the wrong people, into the wrong things. So this is where you get to reclaim your time, reclaim your energy. What does your life look like now that you're no longer centering it around emotionally unavailable men? Now that you have all this new energy, new focus, new clarity, what does your life look like? Work on yourself. Get you some business. Go start a business. You're not chasing after men no more. Okay? Get to know yourself. The more you get to know yourself, the more you start showing up for yourself, it's going to be really hard to tolerate less from a man. The more you love yourself, the more you are self-disciplined, the more you keep your own promises. You've been trying to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to go to the gym. You keep hitting snooze. The more you spend time on yourself, working on yourself. Let me tell you something. Being single is an actual gift. Get in the Bible, read about it. Being single is such... The way God used single people in the Bible... Anyway, we're not going to go to church. It's Sunday, but we're not going to do it. You don't have to be religious, but just understand that being single this is prime time for you to be the person that you want to be, for you to create your dream life. That's how you attract aligned partners. The more you work on yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you understand yourself, the more you heal yourself, the more shadow work you do, the less you're going to tolerate when it comes to other people. You're going to get real strict about the things you allow, the things you attract are going to be different. The things you even consider attractive in a man will start to change the more you love and work on yourself. Amen. Now you're going to integrate. You are ready to jump back into the dating pool, but this time you have a whole new mindset. This time you have a whole new strategy. You are dating with intention. This time you are super clear on your boundaries, on your requirements, type of behavior you tolerate or don't tolerate. Everything is crystal clear. Why you keep repeating the same pattern? The reason you keep attracting the same type of man is not because there are no good men available. It's because your selection process is being influenced by what's familiar rather than what's aligned. What's familiar does not always feel calm or safe. Sometimes it feels intense, uncertain, and emotionally charged. See, some of y'all are addicted to the intensity, the chaos. Some of y'all think that chemistry means connection, compatibility. No. That intensity can easily be mistaken for connection when it's only a reflection of past conditioning. The longer you tolerate something, the more often you tolerate something, right? Each time you tolerate something or stay in something, your brain starts to normalize it. Your brain starts to normalize it, okay? You may find yourself drawn to men who are inconsistent, emotionally distant, or unclear in their intentions. These patterns mirror what your nervous system recognizes, even if they do not. These patterns mirror what your nervous system recognizes, even if they do not serve you. So are we understanding the fact that our nervous system over time, this is how you end up in a situationship or a relationship for years on end. And you start even like compromising yourself and your actual values, right? So now you've been with a man for 3 years that keeps giving you the runaround about commitment. Now you start telling yourself things like, oh, maybe I don't want marriage. Maybe it's just the patriarchy. Maybe marriage isn't important to me. Yes, it is. But you've been in this dynamic for so long that you started to shrink yourself. You started to compromise your own values, your own desires, all because you're with a person that is unwilling to give you these things. And because you are chemically dependent on them, your brain is going to start to rationalize. Okay, well, he's a good man, so maybe I don't care about getting the ring. Maybe that's not important to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, friend. You're just compromising. Now, if it's not important to you, it's not important to you. But be careful with shrinking yourself and compromising yourself to maintain the connection. The cycle is predictable. Let's read some more. Attraction leads to early emotional investment. Chemistry is not connection. Attraction, physical attraction, leads to early emotional investment. Inconsistency appears, but you minimize it. You begin focusing on potential instead of reality. Over time, you become more attached while receiving less clarity. My God, on today. Let's see who wants to come up. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing great. What's your name, love?
My name is Raquel.
Raquel. And how old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 38.
Okay. And what's going on? Are you single, dating?
Well, I am actively dating. I've been out of the game for 4 years, divorced. I have a small child, and been dating online. Met this guy online maybe 2 weeks ago, and it was very intense. So all the points you're making are really starting to stand out to me. And I've been in therapy the entire time since my divorce. I've been doing the healing. I'm active in my church, all the things. And so recently, it's been intense. But then I also have my boundary. I'm celibate. I'm not doing that. We're not going there over the phone. It's long distance.
It's long distance, you said?
Yeah, we just started talking. So they're still in the state that I am in, maybe like 300 miles away. So not crazy. So I kept nicely putting up the boundary, trying to overstep it, but then they acclimate to it. And then recently, all of a sudden I put the boundary up again and say, hey, well, we can do this or talk about this, you know,
What is the boundary that you keep
nothing,
reinforcing?
nothing in steamy, nothing in that. I'm staying celibate all across the board.
Okay, so like no type of steamy conversations is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and he's trying to do that, and then you're telling him like no.
Yes.
Okay,
Um, mhm.
but he's trying to cross. He tried to cross that boundary, and then you had to tell him again. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like he'll make an
Okay.
innuendo here and trying to open that. And I'm like, no, well, that's interesting. That's cool. You know, but I'm looking for a commitment. I'm looking for marriage. And then that side of me can be unlocked. Until then, we're still getting to know each other, still trying to build.
Okay.
Um, and, you know, I'm not being aggressive about it. I'm just being very even keel, very diplomatic about it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other good qualities, but this is just the thing. But I think at some point he acclimated to that. I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that, so I'm observing how your behaviors are coming off. Well, then maybe 2, 3 days ago, I didn't get anything after I put that boundary up because it was late at night. Wanted me to call. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not calling you. But if you want to just talk about things that we've talked about in the past, like we're working on, I don't know, like finance or whatever projects that we have going on, I'm here to talk about that because we have great conversations about that. So 2 days go by, hear nothing. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, that means you're done. You ghosted me. And then all of a sudden you come back and with a text, where are you? I'm like, well, it is my understanding I made the last text, ask a question, and now you're asking me where I am? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then
Mm-hmm.
it comes out over text because I wasn't blaming, I'm just observing, I'm trying to understand, I'm not trying to jump to conclusions because I would do that often in the past, and I'm trying to, step away from that. And
Mm-hmm.
then he goes, well, I was testing to see if you reach out because, I work these long days, I make time, and I'm waiting for you to come back to me. I'm like, well, this is new. It's only been 2 weeks. We're not in a relationship. So we had a conversation, and he understood my point. Well, at least I thought he did because he thanked me for my point, my perspective, and I understood his.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm not here for tit for tat. I just want it to be a normal back and forth with nobody keeping score. I said, I can do that, and that's what I'm on. Well, after that, it's been very short answers. I mean, I get a good morning text. After that, it's not the same energy it was before. And so, to me, I don't want to fall in that pattern of doing too much and leading the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want, or leading the relationship rather. I don't want to be the man. I don't want to lead the lead, and I don't want to do too little. So I don't know, just waking up old wounds and stuff. So I don't know if I'm doing right, I'm doing wrong. I just need to back out.
You don't know if you're doing right or wrong by maintaining your boundaries or like wanting him to lead.
Well, I'm wanting him to lead, and I'm finding that, and it's been a short amount of time. Am I overthinking it? Am I expecting too much? Am I not having enough time to continue to observe? Is it something I just need to go ahead and dip out of?
Hmm. So, okay, you met this man online. You've never met in person?
Not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay. You've just been talking for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And he tried to, initiate a certain type of steamy conversation. That is one of your boundaries. You let him know. And once you let him know, I mean, you were very strict about it. He at one point he tried again, right?
A few times. Yes.
Oh, a few times. Okay. And then when you let him know a second time, hey, these are my boundaries and I already told you and da 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 da, then that's when you started kind of getting like the short answers and he started pulling back a little bit on communication.
Yeah, and then I got the 2 days of nothing. And then almost like he said, I didn't see, I have to go back and read what you wrote. When I know good and well, you know what I wrote. And I think you were just mad about it and you're just testing me.
Robin just said, I mean, this is straight from a man. Robin just said he punished you.
Mm.
So I don't know if you were here. I don't know if I said it today or the other day. First of all, we are 2 weeks in a long distance situation. Have a happy blessed Sunday to you too, Elizabeth. We are 2 weeks into a long distance situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, he shouldn't even be trying to have steamy conversations. He should be trying to get to know you, right? Absolutely. This is a person that you done met online you're talking to them for 2 weeks. We shouldn't even be getting to that point. We should be trying to really get to know each other and being very intentional with our conversation. The fact that he's trying to have a steamy conversation with a woman he met online that he does not know lets me know that he's not a respectful man. Because for one, if he had some sense or respect, he would understand, like, this woman don't know me. She's talking to me online. This is very different than talking to somebody on person. I have to go above and go the extra mile to make her trust me, because this is already like a very, you know what I mean? It's very
Right.
risky talking to people online. So the fact that he's not trying to be on his best behavior, cool. Some people are just very sexual. But the
Yeah.
fact that you expressed it to him and then he tried to break that boundary down several times, and this is 2 weeks long distance, and then he punished you by going MIA for 2 days, absolutely not.
All right.
Absolutely not. So if you're confused about whether or not this is worth your time, no, it's not. Because he can't even respect your boundaries and be mature and respectful in a 2 week long distance scenario. What's going to happen later? And he went MIA because when a man reacts to your boundaries in an immature way, pay attention to that. That is very valuable information. He should be doing nothing but just respecting you.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm great. I am 32.
Okay. And what's your relationship status?
I am single as of 3 days ago.
Well, okay. So, like, fresh breakup.
Yes, fresh. Very
Okay.
scary, but it's okay. Everything's gonna work out for my good. God has me. So yeah.
Period. Period. Absolutely. So you're already at a good mental space, but what is it you want my perspective on? Something about that relationship or like moving forward?
Yes, because I really loved how you broke everything down with the how to break toxic dating patterns.
Mhm.
And I noticed that, like, when you were speaking about your dad and even just the relationship that you recognize, hey, I'm finding this in my partners as well.
Mhm.
I never even connected the two, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I noticed that in my last, serious relationship, similar to you, I didn't date in high school. I wasn't allowed. But
Mhm.
then in college, dated, found quality men. But then, I always get the comment, oh, I know you're a wife. Oh, I know you're a wife, but they're not ready to commit.
I know you're
So, a wife, like, I can tell, oh, you're going to be my wife, or, oh, I can tell, like, you have wifely qualities, and I want to commit to you, but then you find out that they're pretty much like texting other women, interacting with other women on social media. So I guess, and I'm not the type of woman to like pry. If you tell me what you say you're going to do, then I'm just going to believe you until, obviously something is revealed.
Okay.
So yeah, so my question is, I want to know how to, well, obviously we got the 5-step framework, but
Yeah.
as far as noticing the patterns while you're like in the entry level, I guess, of dating,
Yeah.
that might be where I'm struggling a little bit. Just like, I try to accept people at face value, but how do you see when someone's playing games when they're, you come in like, oh, I'm ready to be married. Oh, I'm dating for marriage, blah, blah, blah. And then you find out later on, a year or 2 or 3, and you're like, why are you really dating for marriage, or are you just playing games? So how do you, I guess, recognize like when a man is playing games? Like he's not really dating for marriage, he just says it.
So in the beginning stage, I love how I like how you worded that, in the entry level stages, baby. I might steal that. In the entry level stages, period. So the only way you're going to know is by observing consistent patterns over time. So this is the boring part, because you have to put in the time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put in the time, meaning you can't allow yourself to get emotionally vested 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. You have to have very strict requirements and boundaries. Just like we went over with the last caller, the way a man responds to your boundaries and your requirements is going to tell you what type of person he is. Because here's the thing, A lot of us start dating and we think we have boundaries. We think we have requirements. That's why I brought up like the late night FaceTime call. I love the fact that Raquel has strict boundaries, because you see how Raquel was able to see that man for what he is early on, because she had very strict boundaries and he kept trying to disrespect her boundaries. A lot of us think we have strong requirements and strong boundaries, but we don't. Whatever boundaries we put in place is basically enough for him to go, okay, well, you know, whatever's required from her is easy and feasible for me. So I'm going to keep giving her just enough to maintain that access. You have to be willing to move very slowly in the beginning, right? Don't give him access to yourself at night. Just because you went on a couple of dates don't mean he gets to just because he took you out a couple of times and y'all, you know, hung out doesn't mean he gets access to you late at night on a FaceTime call. Just because he took you out a couple of times does not mean he has intentions. There has to be consistency over time. You have to let a certain amount of time go by, and you have to have boundaries long enough to see how he responds to those boundaries, right? Also, a man that's entertaining other women, texting other women, DMing other women, hanging out with other women, he's not going to have the time and energy to keep up with your boundaries and your requirements, right? He's not going to have the time and energy. Women like to say, oh, well, you know, they be wearing a mask and they might wear the mask for a long time. If he was able to wear the mask for a long time, that means you did not have enough boundaries and requirements, unless he was just a sociopath. The average man that y'all dealing with is not a sociopath. They're not even smart enough to be a sociopath, okay? Listen, we be giving them too much credit. Oh, maybe he's a sociopath. Baby, it ain't even that deep. He's just a man who wants what he wants, or he's not ready for whatever you're ready for. And men will soak up your feminine energy as long as you allow them to. So you have to get take a look at what you're currently doing, right? Take a look at the way you currently move, the way you currently date. So if you're like, okay, well, I tend to get invested emotionally after a month, double it, make it 2 months. Well, I tend to get physical after 3 weeks. I'm gonna need you to double it, make it 6 weeks, make it 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you're doing, the way that you're moving, I need you to get honest with yourself and then say, okay, I'm gonna try something completely different. Right? I'm gonna try something completely different, because clearly I'm not gathering the information that I need. I'm not seeing the red flags that I need to be seeing in the time frame or in the way that I'm currently moving. So I need to do something different. Don't be scared to have strict boundaries and requirements. Don't be scared to not answer that phone call late at night because you want to maintain a connection. Let a man show you who he is by responding to your boundaries and your requirements, right? And if he brings it up, oh, you know, I be calling you at night, you don't pick up. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't tend to talk to men on the phone late at night when I've only known them for 2 weeks. The right man is not going to stop talking to you because you said that to him. The right man is going to be like, okay, I respect that. Okay, cool. I'll call you before 11 p.m. I'll make sure I call you before it's too late. Listen, men are not clueless. A man knows when he's dealing with a woman that respects himself. A man knows when he's disrespecting you. Like, a man knows when he's not putting in effort. A man knows when he's not respecting your boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, they're not clueless. They know what it is. You know what I mean? A man knows that he's not respecting you by only making plans at nighttime. He knows it's disrespectful to only ask you to come over and Netflix and chill versus planning a cute little day date. He knows that's disrespectful. He knows that's low effort. He's just trying to see, are you going to allow that so he can come on in and make himself comfortable and use your feminine energy and do the bare minimum to maintain it, or, you know, maintain the access to it. That's it. So you can't be scared to have these boundaries. You can't be scared to say, well, you know, I'm just going to play it real cool. I'm not going to overextend. I'm not going to overgive. I'm not going to allow certain types of access to me. And I'm going to let this go for a period of time. There's really no time limit. It's until you feel like you have enough evidence. Until you have gathered enough evidence that this man is serious and you're safe. Then you start giving him more access. Right? But we just have to take our time, and you have to get really clear on what you're, and it really is that deep, down to the fact that I'm not going to pick up the phone after a certain amount of time because I've only known you for 3 weeks. You don't get access to me. That tells a man everything he needs to know about you. You think a man that only wants you for physical, you think a man that's trying to play you and waste your time is going to put up that type of effort and put in that type of effort when he realizes I can't even get a hold of her at night.
Right.
He's going to be out of there. But that's what you want. You want him to show who he is. Listen, I don't know how, if you're spiritual or what, but the man that God wants you to be with, the man that God is going to send you, is never going to act immature or throw a fit or start pulling back because you simply have some basic boundaries.
Oh, only the Holy Spirit could have revealed that to you, because that's exactly the response I would get every time I would put the boundary up. And I loved how you said your brain, the patterns that you repeat is exactly how you're wiring your brain. Like it's just shown over time. If you keep doing it, it's like familiar to you. And that is literally exactly what happened to me. That's why I left. Yep. So yeah, thank you. You just gave me, thank y'all, even in the chat, because I appreciate it. I thought I was like, when they say, oh, Savannah, he's a good man. But in reality, it's like, he can be a good man, but he's not the man for me.
Exactly. And that could be, and see, that's the thing too. It's not always like, oh, he's toxic, he's a horrible person. Sometimes it's just a compatibility thing. Sometimes relationships are about two people being on the same page, willing to give the same thing, that want the same thing. And there's 100% reciprocity on both sides, and you have clear intentions, and you're safe and secure because you're just on the same page. It's like you're either on the same page or you're not. You know what I mean? So yeah, and thank you to the chat. I told y'all this, I try to keep it a safe space so y'all can be comfortable and come up and share. And I really appreciate y'all coming up because we all get to learn from each other.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. Well, have a good day. We be out here dating like we got time. Not we, because baby, I've been out the game for almost 9 years. Amen. But some of y'all be out there dating as if y'all got time. You don't have time to waste. Time is precious. The wrong relationship will derail you, throw you off course, remove you from your purpose. Yes, you will find your way back every time because God is good, and anything that was meant to break you, he can turn it around. However, I need y'all to start dating like you don't have time. You don't have time for people that are going to chip away at your self-worth. You don't have time for people that are going to make you question yourself, gaslight you, give you breadcrumbs, waste your time, false promises. You don't have time for that. I love the sisterhood here. We need period. That's why I love having women come up, and I always remind the chat, please be supportive. You know what I mean? We're going to tell each other the truth, but we're going to do it with love and respect because we all been Delulu before. Okay? If you want the dating guide, you're going to click on dating guide. Okay? And that's going to bring you right here. Okay? 27 pages, strategy, clarity, and emotional support. That's going to take you from situationships to secure love. $14.99. If you want to work with me one-on-one, this coaching call is designed to help you date with intention, strategy, and confidence. We're going to identify what's keeping you stuck in the same patterns and outcomes. You will receive a personalized action plan after the session. Talk to you soon. You're not just leaving with a little bit of advice. I'm going to create a personalized action plan for you, friend, and I will email it to you within 24 hours of the session. The type of partner you want exists. The thing that you're looking for is looking for you. You have to believe that. If you don't believe that, you're going to keep settling for less. I appreciate y'all. Congratulations to anybody that booked or purchased anything. Let's do the work. I'm going to get off now. Check my DMs, check my emails. Thank you guys for being here. Bye.